Senator Monday Okpebolo. And with me, right next to me, is Ben Agunloye. You've met him before on this show on a number of occasions, and he gives a good account of himself every single time. And what a fantastic, articulate public affairs analyst you got. You're welcome, Agunloye.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. And next to him is Adeolu Adeyemo, great analyst too, with so much passion. Sometimes you have to be careful not to be sitting next to him because you never can be sure. You never can be sure whether a punch could find your face. But no, he's a gentleman. You're welcome, Adeyemo.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So straight away, we go to business. This morning, the papers were awash. The media space was awash with the news that the Edo Tribunal had upheld the election of Senator Monday Okpebolo. Don't forget, the matter had gone to the tribunal because there were parties that felt aggrieved by the outcome of the election, which held September 21st in 2024. And so, having looked at the back and forth from the various legal teams, the tribunal said, as far as we're concerned, Okpebolo was properly elected. Now, that's caused some stir because Asuelime Ihodalo of the PDP has said he cannot accept that and that is going ahead to the appeal court to see if he can find solace there. And some people have said, oh, should I preempt that? Well, some people are saying he won't find anything different. Now, first of all, Ben, were you expecting this outcome?
Well, based on the proceedings that one has seen in the course of the tribunal,
okay,
I would say that the outcome is expected. Why? If you are disputing election in 719 polling units, for you to be able to correctly dispute by the standard that we have set down in our Evidence Act, it means you need minimum of 790 people as witness, because the court does not deal with hearsay. The court deal with people who are physically present at that point. So you are either talking about your party agent, the INEC polling supervisor, or an electorate who voted in that polling unit. There has to be an eyewitness in that polling unit before you can substantively challenge the result in that unit. And then you know that basically when it also comes to our election, that's why even when some people were talking about let's have all the election the same day, well, it's something that is possible because the entry point of election result in Nigeria is only one, which is the polling unit. Beyond the polling unit, everything that we are doing is collation. The actual entry is at the polling unit. So if you are going to dispute the result, you come with your paper, given that's the form is the EC8, given to the party agent at the polling unit. If the figure differs, then you can contest. Or if you think that the party, what the party got was wrong at that point, there should have been the protest originating from that point. But not that somebody will now say his state coordinator or his local government coordinator who never visited the polling unit, he is by the standard of the procedure not competent to be a witness in disputing or destroying the evidence that comes from the polling unit. So if they have only 5 or 19 witnesses, you already out. So in overstay, if you are challenging over 790 and you have only 19 people, out of whom maybe only 5 were possibly from the polling unit and the others were just agents at different points who did not physically visit the polling unit. It tells you that substantially, even if they were all from the polling unit, there were only 19 polling units that can be effectively challenged. So that leaves you with the baggage of there are not much evidence in place to speak to. There can be records, but people who are competent to speak on each of those records were not available at the tribunal.
Even if the records align with the claims of that party.
You cannot claim to be a witness where you have not witnessed.
But the record, we are talking about record.
The record should be somebody. I was there when this record was written. That's what they are saying.
All records were submitted. Were they not?
The party had a copy. The defendant, others have copies. So who got the copy on behalf of the party at the polling unit? Well, it has to be an electorate or an agent or the INEC staff at that polling unit.
I have raised that.
They say that this record we are talking to, this is the record that we generate. And it's original. You need to authenticate the record before you can speak to it. So if you are not part of generating the record, you cannot affirm that record is genuine.
All right. So what does that say to you, Adeolu? It means then that evidencing the authenticity of claims is made unnecessarily cumbersome and difficult. Isn't that what you feel?
Well, I strongly believe that
because if you have to bring 790 people
from this tribunal judgment, parties now need to really sit down. Because if you want to lay claim to you won the election, where are your claims?
Exactly. That's the whole point.
Now it's going back to reorientation of party agents.
Of the parties and
the
officials.
Because let me tell you why. I've come to understand something about this election of 18. And see, in the whole Nigeria polity or policies, there are a lot of lacuna. That the smartest
politicians
elites are using against the others. Everybody need to shine their eyes now. And I tell people, I say, President Tinubu will keep telling you, I know better than them. What they know is how to get this thing done that you guys don't know. You went to tribunal, you do not have enough. Look at it. From what my colleague just said, from 790, you are only able to bring in 19.
And even the 19, only 5 were physically present.
You have already shot yourself on the leg. So what is okay, I was part of a program, and we had people all across the country last week talking about Nigeria election and everything. And one man said something, he said, from America, he said, I supported so person during every election. I spent so much money. At the end of the day, it was upturned and given to someone that did not deserve the winner to win it. Now, he said he spent money. Sir, henceforth, spend money wisely. Check the structure of parties. Check what is obtainable. Check what they are doing right and what they are not doing right. So that you can now be able to say whether you are going to win or not. It's not enough, from what I've seen now, to gather crowd to vote. If you have, he said, people that you call your agents that are not loyal. Look at it. You are tribunal. You only had 5 people come out of how many people that you say you gather. So what are you coming to prove?
No, out of the so many places that you have issues
with. You can only point to 5.
Nobody to come and prove.
Because one would have expected, ordinarily, that, I mean, just talking generally, that if you have 790 complaints, it makes sense to have like 300, 400 people, so that the balance, the weight of evidence will be strong enough with which to. But you are talking about 790 issues, and you have 5 or 19 or 50 or 100.
Something is wrong with PDP.
So, but you see, we can't take that as a gospel from him, because if that is correct, I do not see why the lawyers will still want to go ahead.
One of the.
Yes, but if it's one, and it
said this morning that he will not
take the.
He will not take the judgment.
Yes, clearly.
So I want to see, maybe
because if this is correct, wherever they go to, maybe we shouldn't preempt. Maybe we are not.
Because after now, they cannot make another submission.
They can make fresh submission.
They can make fresh submission. The appeal is going to be working on what?
On the basis of what has been presented already.
Federal court will say, based on what the state said, I'm also doing what? following.
So
because they cannot call fresh witness at the court of appeal.
You can't.
So if they cannot call fresh witness, and the issue has been that you have faulted, they said the judge said they have submitted documents that they dump. That's what he said. You dump the document on the panel without speaking to the document. Why did they say they did not speak to the document? Because the people were competent enough to speak on the document were not available in the course of the tribunal. So to a large extent, it is good to say, let's go to the Court of Appeal, let's go to the Supreme Court. In Court of Appeal and Supreme Court, assuming this case has been technically handled.
From the beginning? From
the beginning. That is, it's not handled based on fact. Like maybe you asked for Rivers and it was more about, there was not supposed to be, what do you call the form now? The form that was filled when your card cannot be read. Of course, the only way Supreme Court, if Supreme Court had followed the facts of the matter, Wike would have been declared to have lost the election, like both the High Court and the Tribunal and the Court of Appeal have stated. But Supreme Court have to come to say, look, all your evidence that you have adduced in the local court are linked to the card reader. This card reader is not known to the law. And on that basis, every evidence...
At that time?
Yes, at that time. So every evidence, therefore, based on the card reader, were no longer valid because the card reader is not known to the law.
All right, let's examine this particular point of law and let's see how it affects. Now, do you think that that's not something that should be tinkered with? I'm talking to you.
Yes.
Because do you really have to have 100%? You talk about samples. It's not practicable in many instances to get 100% of the evidence that you need. I don't think so. So is it not possible to cut down what is required to like maybe 50 to 60%? Like what you do in forming a quorum, you don't necessarily need everybody to form a quorum, right? For meetings. At the same time, when you need to approve of certain this thing, you either talk about 2/3 of the House, or you talk about any meetings generally, or you talk about maybe 50%. Why would you need 100% of this evidence to prove?
The truth is this: there is a role of card readers, which talks about the numbers.
Yes.
The card readers, as a check.
Now the beavers.
To the now the beavers, which was passed, I think, before the last election.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a law now.
Yes.
That it's and then the election was last year.
Last year, yeah.
You understand? So the issue of electronic voting is on already as a law.
Yes.
You understand? So I want to believe, if we're not going by what was done according to the tribunal, as evidence, I want to believe that Asue is going by, he want to go by the givers, electronic voting, to counter against what they drop. Because I'm trying to understand, if you have evidence of your beavers, what was the voting number?
No, I guess what you're saying, where we're going is, why would we abandon the electronic method of collation for manual when...
No, they are going alongside.
You see, the beavers is supposed to determine overvoting if there were cases of overvoting. And where you now determine that, you now want to cross-check that with the result that comes from that polling unit where you are challenging overvoting. So the beavers record each one, that's electronic,
to see the number.
It's for accreditation. The physical result now, somebody has to say, I was at that unit and this number of people voted.
I've seen the problem.
So are we saying that the electronic collation system cannot be independent of human?
No. We don't have electronic collation.
No. Electronic is for accreditation, to check the numbers. Number of people who are qualified to vote.
Who voted.
I remember that when this matter started, part of the bone of contention was the fact that while collation had been, the figures from the polling unit had been forwarded electronically to a certain point, and when it got to a point, that was abandoned.
No. What we do, this is our electoral process. People come with the beavers, they are accredited. So you know that, okay, at the close of accreditation, in this polling unit, 470 people were accredited.
Were accredited, okay.
That is done. Then so that is recorded. Number of people accredited,
so go ahead with
470. Maybe total number of registered voters, 495. That is recorded. You now go ahead with voting, continue to count the votes. When you now count the votes, what he's saying is that there should not be more than 470 votes cast. Yeah. It can be less than, but it should not be more than. Yes. So that is the extent of the beavers. When you are now done counting, you are going to have all the party agents sign in front of the number of votes by their various parties. And then you snap. It's an image that you are sending to INEC.
This thing.
What you will have an IREV is an image, not a data. So if you need to use that for collation, you have to open each image by each of the polling units and record the vote.
Were coming from, because some images were not showing. Some of these documents were not properly signed, snapped, and sent. And you see a lot of almost like
you know when we started, you said something that there are usually gaps.
You are getting it now.
There are usually gaps that the elite are always using to get
the smartest.
That's
the smartest.
And that's unfortunate, because we should be, as a people, and that's the essence of being involved. We need to get more involved to the point where we are able to pinpoint some of those lacuna and suggest and recommend.
Where we are even going is voters education.
That's what I was talking about.
Education.
So we need to be able to close those gaps.
The parties need to
will continue
to educate their wards ahead. Education, because until someone said to me, Tinubu is an institution, because he does not joke with this enlightenment to his guys. He will send them to different levels, go and educate the people in Yoruba, in different languages, get the officials to know
what they ought to do,
and they go with instructions. Don't go and do what you feel like doing. Do what we ask you to do. It is time, if you really want to take power, everybody needs to sit up. It's not spending money. It is not mobilizing. You can mobilize and still fail. Yes, sir. But if you have the right education, give it to everybody working with you, and they know what they are doing, meaning that the time of bringing anybody anyhow to be your voters agent and your party agent is over. Get educated hands to work with you that understand how to communicate and discuss matters as regarding the education. I think that's where we're having a problem. Well, it is not to carry Agbero to polling unit again.
These issues are really throwing up a whole lot of issues that we need to, that like you're saying, we really need to get abreast of all it takes to have a proper election and to ensure that you're not chanced out. Let's look at this. Now, the verdict has come.
Yeah.
Now, every single time a verdict comes, you find out that the person who wins says, oh, it's a beautiful day, the judiciary remains the last hope of the common man. And the other party says, oh, what a travesty. I mean, they have turned justice on its head and all that. Is it ever going to be possible for us to have a convergence of opinions on these verdicts when they come out? Why is it so? Why is it so? Why do you think it's so?
As long as it's partisan, everybody are gone in there because you want it to win.
Yes,
you know, there is this statement in the German Sport Palace. They say you don't win a silver, you've only lost the gold.
Something has come to you.
Do you understand? No matter what the case is, a German tactician tells you you don't win a silver. You've only lost the gold. So if you have a means of challenging, you want to challenge. More so in our environment where people believe that, look, so many things are not cast in stone. You can fault the procedure, you can fault the process, and you might not say, we believe in miracles.
But
and so you can't get.
I'm talking about, you know,
something.
we had the Dino Melai response.
I was going there.
I mean, he just told himself, I'm not going to get involved in.
That's what that was what Tayo Akpata also did. When you had a rally and 100,000 people gathered in the rain to support you, then the elections were over, you couldn't get 20,000 votes.
Preparation.
Right? You already can see it. And when the results were coming out in Edo, I was going on iRev and check. What was I interested in? I wasn't even interested in the results. I was interested in the number of polling agents that signed. In so many of the polling agents in the donor that I checked, Labour Party had nobody signing for them. And in several of them, they scored 0. So what it tells you is that the party at the issue did not even deploy sufficient polling agents to represent them. So he looks at it that, look, if I decide to go forward, I do not have what it takes to challenge this result. So they decided to withdraw rather than waste more money.
And time.
But where you have other stakeholders saying, fire on, we will support you, right? Then you will not, if you decide to back out, you will get blamed. And tomorrow you might still need their support. So there are people around them who are pushing them forward. So sometimes the case is not about, the case is not about patriotism. The case is not about the people.
It's about
the case is about ego and vendetta. I have the option to get up to the Supreme Court, and I am going there.
Exploit it. Now, you see, and that's the reason why the candidate who is at the center of this must learn not to dance to Majolo Mwenye.
But there's nobody
because that's what, one way or the other, if you die in the process, like unfortunately we can refer to the MK Abiola saga.
It's not, don't even go far.
He's dead,
Jonathan said it.
So
he thought that he had people.
And then before you know it,
he didn't have anybody.
So it's very important for the candidate himself to always know when to draw the lines. Because I do not see the point. If you are clear that, look, whatever I do, it's not likely that I'm going to get. And see, again, and this is not too good, but let's interrogate it. It's as if some people have said that under this dispensation, you cannot have an APC candidate lose his election.
No, I beg to differ.
That's not very correct.
Yeah. Because before I came in, that thought came. I said, you forget it. If you have done the right thing, it is not obtainable. It is not.
Did they win in Bayelsa?
Yeah, they did.
APC lost Bayelsa.
They lost.
APC lost Osun.
Do the needful.
Exactly. Osun is
do
very
the
good
needful.
example. Yeah.
Okay,
that was my answer when somebody raised that.
In fact, I went as far as saying, okay, I was looking at the whole INEC structure. I was looking at, okay, Supreme Court in US, which of the states, the people voted for the judge that they want. We need to get to that level where the issue of people to stop this assumption, people, our system that elects Senate, the INEC chairman, INEC commissioners, even to the judges, we need to stop it. Dayo, I can't put you as a Supreme Court judge to work against me. Sir, will you do it?
So does that not now endorse the position of those
my dear, listen to me. I was opportune many years ago to be among. Okay, I was inside a meeting with some judge some years ago. Sir, the man said, do your own work. And I'm not going to say more than that. Do your own work. And when you are sure what you are doing, and you get to my side, I will do my own side. Meaning, there is a work that is required of you as a candidate.
Yeah.
And that was why we started by saying, until you have done your own work, by educating and educating and educating. Preparation. Having the right set of human being, managing whatever you are running with.
But do you realize that do your own work might also be pregnant with several meanings?
Yeah, there could be several meanings, but we need to do.
Our bottom line is this: do the needful.
Do the needful can be both.
Work hard.
No.
before I want to help you, before I want to help you,
make sure that you have covered all the loopholes. Make sure that you have covered all the all the graves.
Yeah.
You understand?
You know, I met a beauty child.
Me, I'm not going to give you my own meaning.
See, the point I'm making. Look at it this way. During the collation in Edo, go and watch the video back if you have it. Yeah. There were 1 or 2 people there. Each time you read and you tell the number of void votes, there is a particular party or CSDP. The guy will raise up his hand and say it's because INEC has not done enough voters education. That is why there are so many.
Why are you waiting for INEC to
do voters education? Blame INEC. You see, in 1979, I was a small child in primary school. I wasn't old enough to vote. But the UPN agents were everywhere in my village, talking to the adult and the people. So you as a standby child, you could hear them.
Yes,
so I knew exactly what it was involved for voting in both 1979 and 1983. Because they came home to educate the people. After them, the only time I think we have education again was in the days of MAMSA. MAMSA also went down educating. Yes. But from after MAMSA till now,
that means
we have disconnected with the
INEC to educate the people working with you.
I think no, but I think you see.
Yes, probably
INEC should also do its part. But again,
INEC should educate the party. The party should educate the people.
There should be an insurable interest. Your own interest.
Let us not remove this.
Also push you to do the right thing. Honestly,
I love education. That okay, come out, educate your people, plan their well, but at the same time, see, pay your people well to do the job. See, what is going on with PDP? PDP at the top is having problem. There is no way PDP is coming down.
Yeah, that's it. A house divided against itself.
See, there's no. If I'm still going to go back to search what he said on how many party agents
and
how many that were present. Sir, that is sad.
Very sad, because I mean, one would have expected
that is
a minimum of 50%.
They are not together. They are not organized.
They are not ready.
And anybody
that's why I'm wondering, if you have such a huge challenge, why would you want to go ahead?
Why would we want to go ahead? Exactly.
Well, maybe there's much more they know that we don't know. Incidentally, we're not even lawyers here. We're not learned.
we are only informed.
We are only informed, not learned.
We're only informed, we are not learned.
So now let's go forward a little bit after this break. We'll take a break, and when we get back,
in a world where information is vital to every individual, a platform where technology is a medium to pass information, you can always catch up on all information written in the newspapers, even without having one. Join us on The Press.
Reaching live from the Abuja studios.
On The Punch for this morning. The Blueprint newspaper, Nigerian Tribune this morning.
As we give you information and opinions about current events and topical issues on politics, business, sports, entertainment, weather forecasts, and lots more in the local city, across all states, and across all countries. Showing daily on StarTimes, channel 124, 9 a.m. West African time, only on KAFTAN TV. Stay connected with us.
That he said it is a reason why I will not do it.
I pursue the federal government to pay us our damages.
YouTube, KAFTAN TV.
A very tricky one. And then the bottom line is this.
Website www.kaftan.tv.
Point is, the youth must come together. The pendulum can swing in your favor.
Instagram, KAFTAN_TV. KAFTAN TV. Imagine a beautiful world.
Imagine a beautiful world. That's our slogan at KAFTAN TV. Hello there. I am Ruben Okala. Hello, I'm glad to have you join us again on the news on the hour, reaching you live from our studio in the nation's capital.
And that has been the news. Many thanks for watching. My name is Fatima Abbas Hassan. I'm there cutting Baba today.
I am Kirian Umaya.
The politics of Lagos State is still very much in the hands of the leaders.
My name is Dayo Omogun. I've not done a change of name.
To Adebayo Film and Theatre Arts Network.
We always dish out beautiful material.
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
And that's why, at KAFTAN Television,
we imagine a beautiful world.
We are not just bragging.
We blaze the trail in broadcasting. And it is about you.
At KAFTAN TV, broadcasting is not just about information, education, and entertainment.
It's an aggregation of all you need to know in Nigeria
And around the world to create signal.
At KAFTAN Television, we have all it takes to be on top in broadcasting.
Our mission is simple: to project Africa in a truthful yet positive manner.
Wait, we're coming to you in style.
Here we are, starting from September.
Look at what the facts are.
And as we say on KAFTAN TV, imagine a beautiful world.
You're welcome back to The Polity, and we've been talking about the verdict of the Edo Tribunal, which upheld the governorship of the election of Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo. And it's been hot here, just in case you've not been, or you're just joining us. So much has gone under the bridge, and I want to encourage you never to miss KAFTAN Television. And in the next 30 minutes or thereabouts or less, we will be concluding this part of the talk, and I encourage you to tell your neighbors that this is the station to be glued to as we continue right now. And right now, you have an opportunity to also call in. The number is 08029938365, and you do this quickly so that we can have a robust program, a program that you can be proud of, a program that has your own imprint also, your own input also towards making Nigeria the wonder country that we all desire. Now, welcome back, my wonderful analysts. Now, let's talk further. Now, this is the unfortunate situation of the what do you call them now? These other people will be the respondents. These are the people
the prosecutors,
the plaintiffs, or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? Now, can we?
Is there hope
for the case? No, I don't want to even go there, because I think we already got to that. We already.
We'll see already. Because I was going to tell you,
there can be all kinds of.
If you have a brilliant lawyer,
yes,
that could sit down and give a good analysis of the case.
Yes, and also puncture a hole on the other side.
Oh, that is what the judgment is all about. Me, I have not seen the judgment. When I see it, I could put in one or two
things. Even though you are not learned.
Like I said, we are informed, not learned.
Okay, look at what we have just told them today. What you don't know that your opponent knows is what is using.
It's an advantage
to beat you every time.
Sure, yes. Now, okay, see, the governor immediately stretched out a hand of friendship, the olive branch, to them, which clearly Asolime Ighodalo rejected. On which basis?
Of course, there's no way Asu can work with.
Now, if we find other parties, because part of some of the other parties that were involved in that suit would be, I mean, AA and
SDP.
SDP, okay. AA was there.
Accord was there. And of course, their cases were dismissed.
Of course, his name, Akpata, was Labour.
Okay, now, let's look at how do you think politically those other people can Okwebolo do something to sort of integrate them?
Well,
so that you can have a polity that is stable and peaceful.
You've got to look at where everybody is from. Edo has 3 senatorial districts, no doubt.
Yeah.
For a long time, I think Ambrose Ali was the last person from Edo Central who had been governor.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's been the case of the North and the South. Right? It's been the South more. The North had it with Oshomole alone. Right?
Yeah.
But that has been the trend.
So I do not remember exactly where Osereme Osumbo is from.
Osereme Osumbo, I think, is also from the South. I don't think it's Central. I don't think it's Central. But the thing, even if he was, you can't call him a former governor of the state because he lost the election to Oshomole. Yeah. So basically, you will say the Central after Ambrose Ali. So in this the current dispensation from 1999, Central is just producing the governor for the first time. There's got to be a lot of sharing of positions and balancing here and there. Then we want to look at, that's why I, for instance, would always say, look, we are better off a parliamentary people than this presidential thing. Whether we like it or not, whether we like it or not, the governor in this our current presidential system is an emperor. Go to Ebonyi, go to Bayelsa, go to most of the states, you will realize that the way the governor run, they are emperoric in nature. So if you are going to work with an emperor, you need to first of all come and submit. There is nowhere to meet as equal or challenging. So if you cannot come to his fold, then you possibly can actually not work with it.
Okay,
so what you're saying is that they should just gravitate towards.
No. The truth is this. See what my very brilliant friend Wike did is what he's talking about. Wike came out to submit to Tinubu. Wike is from the opposition. Yeah. So how many people can play that game is the question.
But in the process,
because when you want to submit to the emperor according to him, that means you have to yes sir. And if you are not ready to say yes sir, the emperor or your highness, sir, look at what President told that Tinubu of reason. Said go and give in the local government and don't push it to your party. It's an order. So Wike is working, but whether it's indirectly or directly now with the president, he cannot, and that is the issue now, is before you can get people that want to say let's work together, it's always very hard.
All right, so
because if you are going to collapse your system.
Yeah, exactly. So does that not mean that in order to have that kind of formation, we will then be gravitating towards a one-party state?
We will not have a one-party state. Practically, that will never happen.
We are
because
there.
There are people who will in Kano will never be in the same party. There are people in Kaduna who will never be in the same party. There are people in Edo who will not be in the same party.
We never step down to what we tell.
So no, you never say never.
No, so
you know what? When you talk about Nigeria, never, because they are not wired. Because they are not wired on the basis of ideals.
Okay.
Yes. But there are individual differences.
Because, thank you. Individual differences. I swear has its own policy, has its own difference, the way he want to do his things, has his own system. We will not want to settle down with anybody.
I'm going to still argue that. I'm going to still try to redirect that. Why? When you look at Obaseki, you would also look at him as a very principled person, very strong principles. But when it was time and his interest was involved, didn't he cross over from APC to the PDP? There are several like that, several examples.
He left for the PDP to be the candidate, not to submit to it, because PDP was already. He needed to contest. He needed to contest,
and he needed
a platform. And the party more like provided the platform for him. And so, for how long did it took him to have commissioners? And how many commissioners did he took from the existing PDP before he came in?
The brilliant brain.
He was still using his own tools, he was still using his own strategy, just the name of the party. If there was actually any problem PDP have in Edo State today, some people believe it is Obaseki that came to them.
Exactly, from Obaseki.
So it tells you that he did not buy into their system. They only gave him a credential to launch his platform.
All right, let's take this first caller. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
You're welcome to the Polity. You're the first caller on this edition. What's your name?
Yes, my name is Christopher Johanna from Bauchi.
How's Bauchi today?
We are doing fine.
Great. Okay, let's hear your perspective. Yeah.
I just want to concur with the guy at the middle of your seat there. As he said that if you come to some states, the governors are just like emperors. And exactly that's what is happening everywhere.
Do you have any such example in mind?
It's evident everywhere.
Yes, the example that I have is this. Even in every state,
okay,
you have the governor rights that the state house of assembly will all run to. If you dare say no, they will find a way. It's just like the things that it's just like what is happening to Natasha now. So if you dare raise a finger against a state governor, I'm telling you, as a house, as a member of the house, you will be shown the way out. They will suspend you. They will do you all this.
But not in River State.
But I just want to tell Nigerians that
even in Rivers. He locked them out for 14 months.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
I said not in Rivers.
No, even in Rivers, the governor locked them out for 14 months.
Is CDC there?
He may not be there, they may not be there, but he locked them out. He showed them the power. He showed them he's the emperor. Gave the budget to 3 people or 4 people, they approve, and if 2024,
the assembly.
So, but again, I think that at the time there were issues of whether or not.
Do you even know whether
That's
what I'm saying. He's still asking.
I think a better example would even have been Obaseki, who ensured that 12 members, or is it 12 or 14?
Reasonable.
Never sat in the house. They were not sworn
for the entire.
Yes. For the entire. He let them in because he felt they won't give him the speaker that he wanted.
And they didn't show up at the.
They claimed that they did not hear about the proclamation. How can you make proclamation in the middle of the night? And then invited all the people you wanted.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes, you're welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. This is Edmund from Kogi State.
All right, let's hear you.
Yes, I want to differ with the other guy that said that the governorship candidate or parties should do their job. They should do their homework. That if they do their homework, they are going to win. We have seen in this country, so there is systemic corruption in the country, which has gone down with INEC itself. I have seen it where the result sheets had been released to the party in power to fill in whatever figure they want to fill.
Scan ready.
They turn it to INEC, and then they announce it during the election. It happened here in Kogi where the student got leaked in Ogorimagongo site. But this case still went to court, and the court confirmed everything, that the election, there was nothing wrong with it. So that's why I'm disagreeing with him, that even when you do your homework, the corruption that is so endemic can still rig you out. That is my point.
Thank you very much, Amos. You want to respond to that?
Yeah. In the case he's referring to in Kogi, I think that they said some result sheets in 3 local governments were pre-filled. If you remember, they had to postpone election in those local governments and had it again. So whatever was pre-filled obviously was not what came presented at the tribunal or at the court, because the initial election process was cancelled in those places and redone. But when you also come to doing your homework very well, if you cannot have agents, if a town is so adamant to you that you cannot get your party member in that town, you cannot get somebody to represent you in the polling unit
as an agent.
As an agent, it therefore means that you are likely not going to get any vote in that particular community.
Whatever you get,
in your estimate,
cannot even be attested to.
So in your estimate, therefore,
doing your own work is from the ward level.
Yeah.
Up from the ward level. Meaning that everybody from your ward level, they are educated. Anybody representing your interests from the ward level knows what to do. Thank you.
Because it's like you say, Edo today. Edo has 18 local governments.
Yes.
I think 203 electoral wards. I don't know exactly how much polling units they have. But it means that at least you have at least one person in each of the 203 electoral wards that are loyal to the party, and are ready to do things on behalf of the party.
Correct.
You have 18 people from the local government. You've got from the federal constituency. You've got someone at the senatorial district. And so you have your structure in place. And so at any point in time, you are talking about the ward, you are talking about the local government, you are talking about the federal constituency, you are talking about the senator, before the senatorial district, before you now sit down in Benin.
Look at this. Don't you think that there are several factors that could make an agent of no effect? For example, they could be compromised. That's one.
I said it.
It's also because you were talking about
take care of them.
That's one. See, they could be threatened.
Most of the problems
physically.
Most of the problem they're having is when you come to my ward to say you want me to work for you, sir. Let it not be during before election. Don't let it not be during election. It's something you want to have been doing. Take care of your people. A man that is hungry cannot represent your interest when he sees temptation. He will balk immediately. So most of this issue with the party is let the party be well organized, let them be sincere, take care of the party, spend money. People are hungry. When somebody is hungry, sorry, they will not appear at any time.
You see, build up to 2003 election, right?
So even if you pay his transport, forget it.
Build up to 2003 election in the southwest, when we are talking about state capture and the rest, there were 2 of the states that you actually might be able to say it wasn't the function of capture. I won't mention the 2 states, right? But in one, what did the main candidate did? He went around all the wards, did engage consultant to study the state, and gave him result. There are 10 people in each electoral ward, I am told, who were on a salary for some time, doing grassroots work.
I'm sure they are learning.
Even before the primaries. They are learning. And so when the primary came and they went in, the president, to an extent, seemed to step aside And then the candidate won. And when the other people who felt they were closer to the president complained, he said, this is what intelligence report tell me.
Sir,
there was no way you could have beat him at the primaries.
Sir, if you do not study for exam, you will never pass exam.
You can't be too sure.
That means except you know. It's not about corrupt lecturer.
What do you mean by that? If I
you have to know the syllabus.
And I'm prompt in the class, and I know what is going on. I've never seen anybody that study well.
The unfortunate thing is that you can even study well and fail.
That's what you're doing. That means you didn't do the right study. There's a difference between reading
and studying.
If you know the course,
whatever, it's semantics.
It's not study and read and still fail. It's not possible, sir.
See,
it is a natural law.
In this country, you can study.
Except you are studying out of the book,
out of context.
Out of context. Because, sir, I am
talking about artificial barricades against.
How?
Like what you cited. If you have issues, why do you have girls, for example, who get failed in their exams? Even men.
But sometimes some of them actually failed.
Tell them.
Some of them. I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, that some of them are failed. I mean,
but they have the right to challenge.
Understand what
but you can challenge the result.
Are caused to
but
fail.
you can challenge the result.
Yes.
You can challenge your result. If you study and you read and they failed you, you can challenge the result.
And they will bring out the result.
Bring out your
some people cannot challenge the result.
Everything.
Some cannot challenge the result because they knew that they actually
did not study. Because when you are challenging, you have to be ready to defend.
Actually failed.
You have to be ready to defend.
I wish we could go on and on and on. But we really have to go now.
It's all right.
I must say thank you.
What's the moral of the story?
By the way, just before we go, Deolu, you have the ears of Aswelime Igodalo.
Yes.
Tell him something in 30 seconds.
Please. Go back to your drawing table. Check where things were wrong and amend it.
And get ready.
And get ready.
For the next
one.
To
be able to...
Yeah. You agree with that?
Contest.
Basically,
if you want to continue.
In just one word, you agree with that? Yes.
Yes, it should go to the grassroots.
You also have the ear of Okwebolo.
Yeah.
Speak to him in 30 seconds.
Well, as the governor, he should be magnanimous in victory. Everybody that is ready to work for the development of the state, he should give them the opportunity.
He's already doing that.
To work. That's what I would say.
Add something for the judiciary as the case progresses.
Well, for the judiciary, they should continue to do their job.
They should be fair.
They should remain fair and do justice.
They should continue to make us understand that they are the only hope we have.
Of the common man.
Of the common man.
Of the common man.
All right, on that note, we must bring this segment to a close. Even though in a short while, we will take another segment on a different topic. I wish I could take this person's call. Let's see if we can do 30 seconds. Hello? Hello? Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
How are
you? We are actually out of time.
We are actually.
And so I must say thank you to you, Ben Agoloye. Thanks for coming.
Very much.
Thank you, Adeolu Adeyemo.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful team. And I must say thank you to every one of you who have stayed there faithfully watching and who also told your neighbors. And go tell more neighbors because another segment starts just in a while, in a bit. So bye for now. Yeah, even as we just take a break.
Come back.
So thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Right. Yeah.
My name is Sheilo BCFR, the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment, the best of news, the best of information, something that is educative, you're right here at the best place to see that. It's KAFTAN TV. You know what? Increase the volume. Keep watching. Don't touch the dial, okay?
It's your girl Nkechi Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTAN TV.
Please keep watching KAFTAN TV. It is the best TV station in the country. They're doing an amazing job. Please do not touch the dial. Keep watching. Thank you.
My name is...
While wrapping up the day, unwind with the reminiscence of the day's news from home and abroad with KAFTAN TV 7 p.m. news.
Good to have you join us on KAFTAN News at 7.
Are living in up to 5%. Are young people repurpose the Harmony Symphony.
It's good to have you join us on KAFTAN TV News at 7.
We found that the turnaround is not actually sufficient.
National, foreign news headlines. Get balanced, accurate facts on the latest news in business, politics, entertainment, sports, and more. Live from our studios.
Many thanks for watching. Join us again at 9
KAFTAN TV News.
When we say on KAFTAN TV, imagine a beautiful world, we're not just bragging. We know our onions in the world of broadcasting. One of our outlets to express ourselves to the world is our flagship program, Matters Arising. Join veteran broadcaster Ruben Okala and our crack team live.
And they give us a high price, and we just say, Nigeria, we ready?
As I said earlier, the lyrics is up, talking about the old new national.
On KAFTAN TV, StarTimes channel 480 and 124, as well as NIGCOMSAT frequency 12518, symbol rate 29500.
Monday to Friday
at 8 p.m. live. You can join the conversation by calling this phone number 0802 993 8365. It's dramatic and insightful. Don't miss it. Please join us. When we say on
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
And that's why, at KAFTAN Television,
we imagine a beautiful world.
We are not just bragging.
We blaze the trail in broadcasting. And it is about you.
At KAFTAN TV, broadcasting is not just about information, education, and entertainment.
It's an aggregation of all you need to know in Nigeria
and around the world to create signal.
At KAFTAN Television, we have all it takes to be on top in broadcasting.
Our mission is simple: to project Africa in a truthful yet positive manner.
Wait, we're coming to you in style.
Here we are, starting from September.
Look at what the facts are.
And as you say on KAFTAN TV, imagine a beautiful world.
BCFR, the black comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment, the best of news, the best of information, something that is educative, you're right here at the best place to see that. It's KAFTAN TV. You know what? Increase the volume. Keep watching. Don't touch the dial, okay?
It's your girl NIGCOMSAT Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTAN TV.
Please keep watching KAFTAN TV. It is the best TV station in the country. They're doing an amazing job. Please do not touch the dial. Keep watching. Thank you.
My name is
Welcome back to The Polity, the concluding part of today's edition. And on this segment, we'll be revisiting the Natasha saga and looking at the intrigues and the unending drama. Just before we got into the studio, breaking news had it that the recall had collapsed, yes.
According to INEC.
According to the body, the regulatory body. Now, so that talks about all the kinds of ups, downs, and all kinds of things that have happened ever since the crisis broke. Let me start with this. By the way, my guest, Atiku Abubakar Isa, is the current president of the Nigerian Association of National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS. So he probably is representing the students in whatever he says. Is it an official thing or a personal thing? Okay. And so he's a student rep and also a politician. Now, let me start this way. Was this crisis, was it avoidable?
It was very, very avoidable, and I am very privileged to certain information on the side of the Senate President, Senator Akpabio, and on the side of Senator Natasha.
Yeah, if it was avoidable, what do you think has been done that has precipitated this that should not have been done?
It was the attitude of the Senate President.
You think so?
It's not that I think. I can give reasons. I am privileged to certain information.
All right.
Elders of different political parties reached out, and I am even aware of a former governor, a former minister, who is not a member of APC, who called the national chairman of APC and told him that, please meet with Mr. President and ask Mr. President to wade in and call them together, that this is affecting the image of the country. That is no longer about APC, but it's about Nigeria. He pleaded with the national chairman. This is a classical information that ordinarily should not be revealed. The national chairman reached out to Akpabio. Akpabio refused to see him. I'm telling you this, the national chairman of APC. It is not the national chairman that told me.
That is when the matter had started. Right.
The former governor called the national chairman of APC that it is not an APC issue at the moment, that the image of Nigeria
is at stake.
Is at stake, and that all Nigerians are interested in this, for this to be resolved amicably. That this is not, that the president should call both Akpabio and Natasha, sit with them, iron out every issues, and let only the president speak, that the issues have been resolved, and that Natasha should no longer make any statement, and Akpabio should maintain status quo, her seat be given to her, and let the crisis stop. Then, the national chairman of APC took it upon himself, reached out to Natasha and the husband. Then they reached an amicable resolution. He reached out to Akpabio, tried to say Akpabio, Akpabio blocked him.
All right, now, because you see, it will depend on at what point this intervention came. If it comes at a time when the horse had already left the stable, it's going to be difficult to amend some of these things. What do I mean by that? Let me put it this way. Do you think that Senator Natasha could have done anything differently to stave off the crisis that we're in?
No.
Especially at the beginning.
At the beginning, it was also the fault of the Senate President. He should have, when it started in the Senate, he should have just go into an executive session, iron it out. You don't allow the drama to continue like that. That should have been ironed out immediately. But you see, it is a personal ego that is driving the Senate President. And because I have privileged information, I am close to the both of them, not directly, but those that, the people that work with them very closely. So with that, I get all of this information. the Senate president, in his own thinking, is that he has been able to amass so much wealth and that he could buy the conscience of anybody. That thinking is what is destroying him now. I know Akpabio very well. I know Akpabio. Before he became Senate president, I was on air at different media houses, including KAFTAN TV, to tell the senators that Akpabio remains that will be the worst person, the worst Senate president Nigeria will ever produce. And today, that is what is playing out. I told them that anybody can be Senate president, but Akpabio does not have the capacity, is not fit, is not morally fit to become Senate president. In short, it is because of the Nigerian factor. Akpabio should not be seen anywhere where responsible men are. See how he has destroyed the country's image now. See how he has ridiculed the entire. It's the same thing he did in Akwa Ibom. It's the same thing he's doing in the country now. But I don't blame him. I blame the president and commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu. He should have done away with him to save Nigeria of this embarrassment, to save the good people of Nigeria. Nigerians are very responsible people. The image Akpabio is portraying to the world, that is not who we are. We respect women. We are not corrupt the way Akpabio is making the world to look at us. Everything about Akpabio is fraud. Even his election, everything has been fraudulent. From the beginning, before he became governor, senator, you will remember, he contested the primaries of presidential primaries. And how did he get the ticket of to become a senator? Anything fraud, Akpabio is number one.
Well, let's look at this. The particular case that you cited now, even if he is fraudulently disposed, don't you also agree that he couldn't have achieved some of these things without the connivance of the system? For example, the one you just talked about, he did not originally go for the senatorial primaries, but he couldn't have foisted himself on the system just single-handedly. So who should we blame? Is it the system or the senator?
You see, well, we have few persons in INEC, but the majority
because
of them,
he's not alone in that case. I hope you remember.
Yes,
I hope you remember that also the former Senate president.
It is the body that I want to. Yes.
Yes.
INEC officials are just bribe collectors.
No.
No. You see, I'm responsible for my statement. I am an adult.
Oh, good.
And if anything I say, I should be prosecuted. At my age, I can go to prison.
All right.
Yes, it's not a child that is speaking before you say no. Why do you allow a child to speak who we cannot send to prison?
All right.
Okay. So, INEC officials are bribe collectors, but you have very few, and the number is very insignificant. So with that, the likes of Akpabio will always have their ways. He has so much ill-gotten wealth that only very few Nigerians he will not be able to buy. And these are people who have conscience, who will stand for what is right. These bribe collectors will always, let me tell you the truth. I told somebody that the reason I'm not governor of Kogi State today is because I don't want to do certain things. But it's very easy to become governor, especially in Nigeria. All you meet these bribe collectors. With just 3 billion naira on the ground, you give to the bribe collectors, which is INEC. And then, you don't even need to campaign. If you want to win election.
I'm not too comfortable with that disparaging.
No. We need to, if we don't say these things, these people will not correct this. Okay, look at Ododo. No, he is the governor of Kogi State today. He never won election. The bribe collectors, let me tell you, even the call of Natasha that has collapsed is because the bribe collectors see that Natasha, just like some people say on social media, they say Natasha is a man. They see that Natasha is very strong, backed by an influential title holder, which is her husband. With that, she's able to do all of these things because she's been supported by her husband, who is a respected businessman from Delta State.
From the South, yeah.
So with that, that's why she's able to do it. See, these people will always collect bribe. They were guiding this. See, let me tell you, we need to say this very clearly so that Nigerians will understand. There was never a time the people of Kogi Central even thought of recalling Senator Natasha. Yeah. This is done by just 3 people.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
Only 3 people.
All right.
Former Governor Yahya Bello, Akpabio, the Senate President, and Governor Usman Ododo. In the case of Usman Ododo.
Do you have your facts?
I have my. That's what I'm telling you now. We have video evidence where they put some persons in the room, and they are signing for
right,
250,000 people.
I think we saw.
Yeah.
We
So
saw that.
you see, it is Yahya Bello is from Kogi Central. So Akpabio met with him, and according to the information we gathered, which I challenged them, let them. These people are by far more wealthy, more connected than me. So they can do anything. Why am I coming out to say? Because it is the truth. Money exchanged hands, and then money was given to Yabelo to execute. He now called his errand boy, who is the governor of Kogi State. That one is the least qualified person. That one is not only, that is not a governor.
Whatever it is.
No,
Wait. Whatever it is, once people attain certain offices, even if we don't respect them personally, I think that we must accord them some level of respect because of their office.
Yes, to the office.
Yeah. So
but
let's let that be our guiding principle.
Okay, yes. I take that, and we respect the office of the governor of Kogi State. But sometimes the example I give is this. If a thief is caught, even if he's a king or a respected elder, you still have to call the respected elder who is a thief.
Incidentally, you cannot catch a governor who is still in office right now because he has immunity.
And
so you
the
cannot.
Constitution also gives us the liberty to call him a thief if he has stolen. But what he cannot be prosecuted. But the Constitution does not deny us from saying that he's a thief. If a governor of Kogi State who is an errand boy, let me tell you this. No. I'm very happy you have brought us to this stage now. The governor of Kogi State is not staying in the house where he's supposed to stay as a governor. Yahya Bello, who is the former governor, remains in that house where it's expected that
where the current governor is supposed to stay.
He has not moved anything out of government house. The place he was occupying as governor is the same place he's occupying now. If they say let them come out, then we take them to that place. The same place he's occupying. He has not moved anything. This one is just there. Go, he goes. Stop, he stops. Let me tell you.
All right.
There's something very important again that we need to know.
All right.
Ahmed Usman Ododo is a man with a very good heart. We know that. But because he has accepted to be governor of Kogi State, because he accepted to be imposed on the people of Kogi State, and then he sees himself that yes, I owe everything to only Yahya and not the people of Kogi State. So now he has agreed to do anything Yahya wants. If not, we know him. Before he became governor, he called me. And he sought for my
I think that we have a problem of not knowing actually what we want in this country. We have a case in Rivers where, for example, between Godfather and Godson, there's crisis. And you find people, including very highly respected persons, who say that the Godson was impudent, was hasty in trying to break free from the subservience to the Godfather. Several persons have adduced that line of argument. Now here we are again with somebody who you have said is totally subservient to the Godfather, and we have issues with it. What should we actually stand by?
You see,
because it would be like, would it have been better? Is it better? Just straight away, do you think that the Godson, the Godfather-Godson thing is good for Nigerian politics? Very briefly, because we don't have so much time.
It's very bad for Nigerian politics.
It's very bad for Nigerian politics, which is why you are against what is happening, what you perceive to be happening in Kogi State.
Yes.
So what's your take on, just a slight detour, what's your take on the Rivers case?
Rivers case is the same scenario that's playing out
exactly.
in Kogi State. The Godfathers are always demanding for huge sum of amount of money. It's the same thing in Rivers, it's the same thing in Kogi. The only difference is that in the case of Kogi, he is managing his Godfather very well. In short, a member of House of Assembly told me personally that the governor of Kogi State went to meet with the former governor and pleaded with him that I can do anything. And even the money we agreed, I will be paying. But I want to pay full salary. So the member of Assembly also told me that sometimes he goes even from his security vote. He takes money out of it to pay salary. We're talking about just payment of salary because the amount of money Yahabelo has demanded from him every month is so much that he won't be able to do any project. And that's why there's no project.
Well, I do want to believe that you have all the facts to substantiate all that. But let's move ahead a little bit. Now, we just heard that the recall hit the rocks. Now, what exactly do you think? Let's explain that.
I just told you here now that there was never a time the people of Kogi Central conceived the idea to recall
of recalling
Natasha.
So it was
the recall of Natasha.
There was no
there was nothing like that. It was just the idea of 3 persons, or let me say 2 persons, Akpabio and Yahabelo. And then Yahabelo now co-opted the governor into it because he knows as the governor he's the most powerful person in the state. If he doesn't buy the idea, that was why the governor said denied Natasha entry into her village. That stopped convoy. I was in Kogi State. I wanted to go there, but because they don't allow vehicles to meet her in her village, that was the opportunity I wanted to use to meet with her and see her face to face. So I was around Ajakuta, and you see, they used, apart from policemen, they stationed their thugs all over the area to molest people. So I don't have the capacity to fight their thugs because their thugs are carrying guns also. It's not physical fight. So
I say, let me quickly cut you because we don't have all the time. We're almost running out. So because I see that you are very much in love with Senator Natasha from the line of your no.
All of us from Kogi State. We're not even from the same senatorial zone.
I know you are from the east.
Yes, she's from the central.
Yes,
but that's the person representing the entire state.
But let me ask you. The entire state.
The entire state.
After all, on social media now, there's this movement called I Am Natasha.
Yes.
In fact, one of my friends posted on Facebook this morning that the only man remaining in PDP is Natasha. But it's not me. I'm quoting somebody. Now, let me ask you, was that a rally or not?
It was not a rally. Some persons, even when we wanted to go there, they said the only reason, the way we would be able to go there was also to trek for about 2 hours to go there. That was how people were able to gather there, to show you the kind of love they have for that woman.
So what
you trek for about 2 hours to go there because they blocked everywhere. Police on one side doing their legitimate work, then thugs carrying out the illegal work of beating and humiliating people. Once they know that you are going to see Natasha. So I saw that there was no need for me to receive beating because I love Natasha. No, I have to remain and be able to and continue to defend her, maybe in the media, because if I had gone there now, I wouldn't be able to come here to say all of these things.
One of the twists from her presentation at that rally that day, or that homecoming, if you like, was the fact that she no longer talked at all about sexual harassment or whatever. She talked about the fact that there were plans to eliminate her. Do you also agree to that?
It's not that I agree to that. I know. I didn't know that she was coming to say it on air. I know. Because, you see...
Okay. Let me just take this because it might just help you.
Imagine beautiful Nigeria with Captain TV.
Eso Dudu, good afternoon. We have very little time. Just go straight.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. Dayo. Good afternoon to you, Atiku Abubakar.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I will meet with you one day in Captain TV.
Yeah, okay. Your 1 minute is almost gone.
The way he is managing the 10th Senate, to be precise, is seriously damaging Nigeria's reputation internationally. He should be very careful. And I appreciate Senator Natasha. She is truly an Amazon. She should keep it up. We are standing by her. We are standing with her. May God continue to bless her. Thank God the recall process, the recall process that compromised Akpabio 10 Senate want to actually sponsor against her has failed. They should learn a lesson. And I am very happy. They would have actually demonstrated when Natasha went home to actually identify with her constituents. It's a clear demonstration and warning to them that they should be very careful. Comes 2027, if Nigerians are determined for change, to remove anybody from any elective posts. We can do it, and we are ready for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Esodudu. Thank you. And it's every time.
I think
now,
we might not be able to continue the course because of the
okay,
time.
Okay, because of the time.
Yes.
You'd rather just... Okay, now, talking about affecting the nation's image negatively, what about the fact that Senator Natasha had to go to the IPU to talk about this? How does that help Nigeria's image?
It was necessary for her to save her life.
To save her life?
To save her life. You see, these people, when
were they going to provide her security?
No. These people are always afraid of the international community, because, you know, when they loot the money from this country, they take it outside. They have their investments there. Some have dual citizenship. So because of that, and that's why you see all of these things they do in this country. Once they destroy this country, they know they have another country where they can go to. So having done that now, it now made them to be very scared of their next line of action, because since she has already exposed them, taking her life now will become a matter that will be discussed at the international level. So that was very, very necessary for her.
Taking her life?
Yes. This people, you know the way they kill people in Kogi State. Yahya Bello, I was not on this platform, on another private media. I called him a murderer, and I said on live that I will provide evidence. They stopped me. I can still provide it. This man, this is his stock in trade. And that is why even the National Assembly members, for you to go to National Assembly from Kogi State, since Yahya Bello became a governor, you are either a political thug or you are somebody that must have murdered people. In that case, let me provide a specific example. Before coming here, I sent a message to him. The member representing Ida Federal Constituency, Honorable Zakaria David, has not spoken for the past 5 years because he was the leader of one of the thug, the most dreaded thugs in Kogi State. For that reason, he was rewarded with a ticket for House of Representatives. This is his second term. For you, even as a member of House of Representatives, you will see him beating people on the street. Beating. Because these people feel that they see themselves as gods. That nobody, because if you dare say anything, in short, I was at Ida. Somebody told me that...
we really don't have the time, but so that we can locate it around Natasha a lot more.
Yes.
Now with this development of the botched recall, do you think there's any respite in sight for her concerning suspension from the Senate?
Yes, they are already jittery because that was why they wanted to stop her from going home. It is that the outcome of that outcome of her homecoming that has made INEC to make this pronouncement. It is not that INEC is doing what is right. They just know that...
Can't we at least give some credit?
You can't give credit to people who are bribe collectors and have collected money they cannot deliver. Since they cannot, it is just that they cannot deliver. They have tried everything. They were the ones guiding Yahya Bello and Kpabio on how to make it look, give it the necessary constitutional requirements for her to be recalled. And they saw that at the end of the day, this woman is so powerful. As a matter of fact, I want to plead with Mr. President to award her with the second highest national honor because she deserved the GCO and more than most of the people that have been awarded in Nigeria.
Wow. I'm afraid we just need to go. Unfortunately, the time is not enough. I'm sure I'm going to have to call you very, very shortly again so that we can have some more time. This is the size of this program today, and I must say thank you, Tiku Abubakar Isa. It's not a vice president, it's not the former vice president, as you can see. Thank you very much for coming. And I must say thank you to the technical crew, the production team. Wonderful guys. Big up to all of you. And I really appreciate every one of you viewers from around the world who have stuck onto KAFTAN TV. Please stay tuned to KAFTAN TV. And this evening at 8 to 9, please join me again on Matters Arising. I'll be there live and with my other colleagues, and we'll still be talking Nigeria. Thank you for being there. And at this point, my name remains Dayo Omogwan. I'm saying bye-bye.
Imagine a beautiful world where not just bragging, we know our